Season 6, AI and Surveillance. Episode 1, Why AI Makes Privacy Obsolete. 1. Introduction. Privacy did not disappear, it was redefined. Most people think privacy disappears when someone steals your data. A hack. A leak. A breach. A scandal. That is the old story. The new story is quieter. Privacy becomes obsolete not because your secrets are exposed, but because secrets are no longer required. AI can infer what it needs. It can predict what you will do. It can estimate who you are. It can classify your risk. It can guess your preferences. It can identify your relationships. It can decide your value, often without knowing your name. This is the uncomfortable truth. In the AI era, privacy is not only about what you reveal. It is about what can be inferred. And inference changes everything. This episode explains why AI makes privacy obsolete, how the surveillance economy works, and why traditional privacy protections struggle in a world where prediction is more important than confession. 2. What privacy used to mean. For much of modern history, privacy had a simple logic. If you kept information secret, it stayed private. Privacy meant control over disclosure. You chose what to share. You chose who could know. You chose what stayed behind closed doors. Laws and norms were built around that idea. Search warrants. Confidentiality agreements. Medical privacy rules. Financial privacy rules. Private property boundaries. These systems assumed information was scarce. It took effort to collect it. It took effort to process it. It took humans to interpret it. AI breaks that assumption. Information is no longer scarce. And interpretation is automated. 3. The new definition, privacy as predictability. AI shifts privacy from secrecy to predictability. The question becomes, can someone predict you? If they can predict your behavior, privacy is weakened even if your data is hidden. Because prediction allows control. Control can mean pricing, targeting, manipulation, surveillance, exclusion, risk scoring. So in the AI era, privacy is less about hiding facts and more about preventing systems from building accurate models of your life. That is far harder. Because models can be built from tiny clues. 4. Why AI changes the surveillance game. Surveillance used to be limited by cost. Watching everyone was impossible. Even if you recorded everything, humans could not analyze it. AI changes the economics. AI can analyze speech at scale. AI can analyze images at scale. AI can analyze behavior logs at scale. AI can flag anomalies automatically. AI can rank people by risk. AI can decide who deserves attention. This transforms surveillance from manual monitoring into automated governance. Once analysis becomes cheap, collection becomes attractive. And once collection becomes normal, privacy becomes fragile. 5. The data you think you give versus the data you actually generate. Most people think their data is what they type. A form. A profile. A message. A post. But modern systems care more about behavioral exhaust. The trail you produce while doing anything. How long you pause. Where you click. How fast you scroll. What you hover over. What you skip. What time you sleep. Where you travel. Who you contact. How often you reply. How you type. This kind of data is powerful because it is unfiltered. It captures what people do, not what they claim. AI thrives on this because behavior is predictive. You can hide a fact. It is harder to hide a pattern. 6. Metadata is more revealing than content. A classic privacy misunderstanding is focusing only on content. People worry about what they said. But metadata often reveals more. Who you contacted. When you contacted them. How long. From where. How frequently. In what routine. AI can use metadata to infer relationships, routines, and even emotional states. A person can encrypt a message. But the pattern of communication still exists. Patterns are often enough. AI does not always need the words. It needs the structure. 7. Inference is the real privacy collapse. Inference means deriving information that was never directly provided. A system might not know your income, but it can estimate it. From device type, location, purchases, browsing behavior. A system might not know your health conditions, but it can estimate risk. From searches, activity changes, sleep patterns, food purchases. A system might not know your politics, but it can estimate ideology. From content engagement, friend networks, language patterns. A system might not know your vulnerabilities, but it can estimate what persuades you. From what triggers attention and reaction. This is why privacy becomes obsolete. Even if you do not disclose, systems can infer. Inference turns your life into a model. And a model is actionable. 8. Why anonymity is weaker than people think. Many people assume anonymity protects them. No name, no problem. But AI makes re-identification easier. If a dataset contains unique combinations of signals, it can point back to a person. Location patterns are often unique. Movement routines can identify individuals. Shopping behavior can identify households. Device fingerprints can track users across services. Even if names are removed, patterns remain. AI is excellent at matching patterns. So anonymity becomes fragile. Not always, not in every case. But enough that anonymity can no longer be assumed. 9. The surveillance economy is not mainly about spies. When people hear surveillance, they imagine intelligence agencies. That is part of the picture. But the larger engine is commercial. Companies profit from prediction. Prediction allows targeting. Targeting increases conversion. Conversion increases revenue. Revenue funds more data collection. More data improves prediction. This loop builds a surveillance economy. You are not watched because someone personally cares about you. You are watched because your behavior is monetizable. That makes surveillance normal, not exceptional. 10. Why advertising is the training ground for surveillance. Advertising is often dismissed as harmless. Just marketing. But the modern advertising system is a massive behavior prediction machine. It tests what grabs attention. It tests what persuades. It measures response. It optimizes content. Over time, the system learns how to influence. Not by understanding human meaning, but by finding patterns that work. AI does not need to know why you react. It needs to know that you react. Advertising becomes behavioral engineering. And the infrastructure built for ads can be reused for other forms of social control. 11. Personalization is surveillance with a friendly face. Personalization sounds helpful. Recommended music. Suggested videos. Curated feeds. Smart assistants. But personalization requires profiling. To personalize, the system must model you. Your interests. your habits, your likely reactions. That model is built from surveillance. So personalization and surveillance are connected. You cannot have deep personalization without deep data. Many people accept surveillance because it arrives as convenience. That is how privacy dissolves. Not through coercion, but through comfort. 12. The shift from consent to compliance. Privacy frameworks often rely on consent. You clicked agree. So it is fair. But consent is often not meaningful. Terms are long. Choices are limited. Participation in modern life often requires acceptance. Many services function like this: use it, or lose access. That is not consent. That is compliance. AI makes this worse because the value of data grows. Companies design systems to nudge acceptance. Opt-out becomes difficult. Privacy becomes a luxury. Those with resources can pay for privacy tools. Those without cannot. This turns privacy into inequality. 13. The workplace, where privacy fails fastest. Workplaces are becoming high-surveillance environments. Productivity tracking. Communication monitoring. Badge access logs. Location tracking on devices. Performance scoring. AI allows employers to interpret worker behavior at scale. It can flag low engagement, predict turnover, detect deviations. This shifts power. Workers cannot easily refuse. Employment is tied to survival. So workplace surveillance expands quickly. And once surveillance becomes normal at work, it reshapes expectations of privacy elsewhere. People adapt. They accept monitoring as a condition of life. 14. The public space, cameras become sensors. Public surveillance used to be passive. Cameras recorded footage. Humans watched only sometimes. AI turns cameras into sensors. They detect faces, track movement, identify patterns, flag anomalies, recognize objects, estimate age and emotion. Even when systems are imperfect, the effect is the same. The possibility of automated observation changes behavior. People self-police. They avoid standing out. They avoid assembly. Privacy in public becomes thin. Not because you do something wrong, but because you cannot be sure how you are being interpreted. 15. Why I have nothing to hide is a trap. The common response to privacy concerns is, I have nothing to hide. But privacy is not only about hiding wrongdoing. Privacy is about freedom. Freedom to explore ideas without judgment. Freedom to associate without being tracked. Freedom to make mistakes without permanent records. Freedom to change without past behavior being used against you. AI makes records permanent and analysis easy. So privacy becomes a condition for personal growth. Without privacy, people conform. They become predictable. They become cautious. A society without privacy is not only less private, it is less free. 16. The real danger. Privacy loss becomes automated exclusion. When AI systems have data, they can classify people. High risk. Low value. Unreliable. Suspicious. Likely to default. Likely to commit fraud. These classifications can shape access. Loans. Jobs. Housing. Insurance. Travel. Visibility online. Privacy loss becomes exclusion because classification becomes easier and cheaper. You do not need a human to discriminate. The system can do it automatically. often without clear explanation. So privacy is not only a personal issue. It becomes a structural issue. It determines who gets opportunities. 17. The scoring society problem. As AI expands, more domains adopt scoring. Credit scoring, insurance pricing, tenant screening, employee performance, student risk, customer value, security risk. Each score alone may seem manageable. Together, they create a scoring society. Your life becomes a portfolio of scores. And scores can interact. A low credit score affects housing. Housing instability affects employment. Employment instability affects insurance. Everything becomes linked. Privacy loss makes scoring possible. Scoring makes inequality self-reinforcing. 18. Why data minimization is hard in the AI era. Traditional privacy protection says collect less data. Data minimization. But AI creates incentives to collect more. More data improves models. Better models increase profit. Better models reduce risk. Better models increase power. So institutions resist minimization. They treat data as an asset. They build systems around extraction. Even when they promise privacy, the economic incentive is to gather more signals. This is why privacy collapses structurally. The system is designed to want more. 19. Why delete your data is not a complete solution. Even when deletion is offered, it often does not solve the core problem. Your data may have been copied. Your behavior may have been aggregated. Your profile may have been inferred. Your patterns may have influenced models. Even if the raw data is removed, the inference can remain. Also, many systems depend on third parties. Data brokers, ad networks, analytics services. Deletion in one place may not propagate elsewhere. So privacy becomes hard to restore. Once inference exists, it is difficult to undo. The rise of synthetic knowledge about people. AI does not only store raw facts. It stores predictions. Predictions can be more powerful than facts. If a system predicts you are likely to miss payments, it may deny you credit, even if you would have paid. If it predicts you are likely to churn, it may offer you worse service. If it predicts you are likely to be a problem employee, it may limit opportunities. Prediction shapes treatment. Treatment shapes outcomes. Outcomes validate prediction. This loop can trap people. Privacy loss makes prediction easier. Prediction makes privacy less relevant. Because the system acts on probability, not certainty. 21. Children grow up inside the system. A society without privacy affects adults. But it reshapes children even more. Children grow up with surveillance as normal. School monitoring. Device tracking. Social media profiling. Location sharing. Analytics. They learn to perform. They learn to curate. They learn to treat life as content. They learn that being watched is normal. This changes personality development. It changes risk-taking. It changes creativity. Privacy is not only about information. It is about the psychological space to grow. If that space shrinks, society changes over generations. 22. Privacy as power, WHO can afford to disappear. In a surveillance society, some people can still protect privacy. They can pay for tools. They can avoid certain services. They can hire lawyers. They can live in protected environments. Others cannot. They must accept surveillance to access work, education, housing, and services. This makes privacy a class issue. A rich person can buy distance from surveillance. A poor person becomes transparent. Transparency becomes vulnerability. That is why AI makes privacy obsolete in an unequal way. Not everyone loses privacy equally. 23. The geopolitical dimension, data as strategic power. Nations compete over AI capability. AI capability depends on data and compute. Data becomes strategic. The more data a system has, the more powerful it can become. Governments may push for data access in the name of security. Corporations may lobby for data access in the name of innovation. Privacy becomes framed as an obstacle. When privacy is treated as an obstacle, it loses. This is why privacy struggles in the AI age. It is competing against national power and corporate profit. 24. Can privacy survive at all? Privacy can survive, but not in its old form. It cannot rely only on secrecy. It must rely on limits. Limits on collection. Limits on retention. Limits on inference use. Limits on automated decision-making. Transparency about profiling. Rights to contest scores. Stronger restrictions on data brokerage. Privacy must become a governance framework, not a personal choice. Because the problem is systemic. Individual behavior changes cannot defeat industrial surveillance. 25. What a future with real privacy protection would require. A serious privacy future would include 1. Collect less by default, not by request. 2. Ban certain high-risk inferences or restrict their use in sensitive domains. 3. Require transparency about profiling categories and scoring logic. 4. Create strong rights to access, correct, and appeal data-driven decisions. 5. Restrict data brokers and third-party sharing. 6. Limit workplace surveillance and predictive discipline. 7. Regulate biometric identification and public surveillance. 8. Enforce strong penalties for misuse. These are political choices. Without them, privacy continues to erode. 26. Core takeaway. AI makes privacy obsolete because it shifts power from knowing facts to predicting behavior. In a world where inferences can be drawn from patterns, secrecy is not enough. Data is collected constantly. Models classify people continuously. Institutions act on predictions. And those predictions shape opportunity. Privacy was once about keeping information hidden. Now it is about preventing systems from turning your life into a controllable model. Without strong governance, the default future is a society where privacy is not a right but a memory. If this episode helped you understand why AI makes privacy obsolete, like this video so more people can see it. Share it with someone who thinks privacy only matters if you have something to hide. And subscribe to Uncovering Facts for deep, hype-free explanations of technology, power, surveillance, and the systems shaping modern life. Next episode, how facial recognition changes society.